and grime. Made in Compton where we redefine shine.
The package open, gotta free it in a hurry.
Hey.
Drop it in a seam, snap a pick and spit a bar flurry. The spinning racks need refill, but I'm really not worried.
Okay.
It's the most beautiful thing in the words of Keith Murray. Dipping out in a low-low and slow-mo tipping.
Woo.
Just one tap and it hops up like pogo sticking. This is not a put together, like Robo Chicken.
Wow.
Still original condition, number match, no parts missing.
Right.
Willowbrook and Alondra Pullover right there. At the Made in Compton store, I can get something to wear. For men, women, and children, all prices fair.
Thank you.
Got fresh top to bottom. And I slid up out of there, hops right back in the low-low looking like new money.
Sure
It's
do.
there all you want, but can't take none from me. Ain't none bouts this cute, sweet, nor funny.
Nope.
Outside in a low ride, rain, sleet, or sunny.
Cool.
The back window's still empty, ain't earned a plaque yet. Not a renegade rider. Hub City to set. Until next time, one thing you can bet. I'll be on my grind double time, pushing a line extra shine drips wet. And you ain't seen none yet.
That was incredible. Much respect.
Awesome. Welcome back to Bone with Friends podcast as we wrap up the end of the year 2025. How are you today, Bone? Absolutely.
I'm good, yourself.
Okay, wonderful. Absolutely. So definitely this is a year of gratitude and Bone with Friends. We're going to have you do a reflection type of interview, okay? So as we reflect on the past year, Bone with Friends, we do so with deep gratitude for every voice, every moment, and every conversation that filled the room, even when the microphones were off. This has been hosted by Bone. Bone with Friends became more than a podcast this year. It became a place of trust, a place where stories were shared honestly, laughter came naturally, and real life experiences were respected, not rushed. We're grateful for the guests who showed up vulnerably and spoke their truth, the listeners who tuned in, shared episodes, and felt seen, the community voices who reminded us that everyday wisdom matters, the conversations that didn't chase trends but honored authenticity. What would you like to say about that?
Oh man, I just like to thank everybody that came on and just gave their honest naked truth.
Absolutely. Because each episode reflected what the show stands for: connection over performance, understanding over judgment, and friendship over formality. Whether it was a deep discussion, a lighthearted exchange, a hard truth, or a quiet moment of reflection, every show added to a growing archive of lived experience and shared humanity.
Man, it was just a beautiful thing to have them people come and just, give me a piece of their mind and, just, a heartfelt story and, no holds bar.
Absolutely. And this past year proved that Bone with Friends isn't just about who sits at the table, it's about the space being held, a space where people could speak freely, be heard fully, and leave feeling lighter than when they arrived.
Man, I like to thank Robert and I like to thank Fabian and I like to thank Chili Mac, just to name a few. I mean, because them guys came and they just gave it their all and they just was, brutally honest with, their opinions and, their stories. It was just a beautiful thing.
Absolutely. And to everyone who contributed their time, their stories, their energy, and their support, thank you. You helped shape something meaningful. You help keep conversation alive in a world that often rushes past it. So as we move forward, we carry this gratitude with us, grounded, appreciative, and committed to continuing conversations that matter.
Oh yeah, I like to thank Markeith. I mean, that was a heartfelt one.
Yeah.
Condolences goes out to his daughter again. It's just, a tragic story. And
I
I
love
thank everybody for coming and just, giving it, giving their stories to the podcast and to the listeners,
Mm.
for them to, take from it and build with it and, just advance and move on.
Absolutely. And to all the shout outs in the beginning of the year as well. And it's so sad, shout out, rest in heaven, Mr. Brown. He was one of the voices that you heard as an intro, as a surprise intro to Bone with Friends when you first started your show as well.
Man, rest in peace, Mr. Brown.
Absolutely. And there were so many different instances where there was a lot of things that you couldn't expect. I mean, I like to shout out. I didn't know that I was gonna go to websites to see, the one and only subscriber out of state that has lots of birds and see him and his whole flock of birds. And I thought that was pretty neat. And then we would have another guest who also flew birds and been in competition against each other and the camaraderie from way back and the people that's been on from the car industry. Lots of people had Chevys back in the day. From the engineer perspective, because I've been behind the board all this time, and it's just been really neat to observe and listen to the various conversations. So it's definitely been very rich in communication and care and love. I mean, I was, shout out to everybody, but I know it just recently Tata came to the store. So and Tata's been on the show many times and things have evolved over the times that we've heard them on the podcast. And definitely is a shout out to so many people that it's like they grew with us, so many things, just elevating in their careers, people that work, work a job and people that work for themselves. So, yeah, it's definitely been extraordinary. And
We
if
can't forget about Zigzag. I mean,
oh,
come on, man.
yes, absolutely zigzag, even the point where I catch myself think I'm sounding like zigzag. I said, didn't it sound like zigzag? Hello. Absolutely. Absolutely. So, and then all of the various people that have shared so many things that like they said, just their emotions. It carries words, but at the same time, you can feel the weight of some of the things that have been talked about. Absolutely, yeah. So, I mean, definitely just recently, shout out to Markeith to come on and talk about bullying in schools and everything to the point of, for some no return. He shared a good message that people have to keep supporting everybody that's here as much as possible and listen actively. And sometimes, things, circumstances afford the fact that, maybe we schedule podcasts and not able to come on the podcast and some unforeseen things. I mean, like, we just couldn't even imagine. Um, some people travel and then they didn't make it back and they were gonna, like the young man that was gonna be on the show. Oh my goodness. Mm. And his
Man, talking about Umar Hakim.
Yes, yes, absolutely. I was like, oh wow. Yes, indeed. And to know to have the text messages, the back and forth, the answer, the agreement to the questions that you sent for him to overlook and then, it's like you just never know what goes on in people's lives, and that's why they say, every day is God's grace. Absolutely. Man. So with that in mind, there is I just want to say bone with friends, because real talk, real people, and real gratitude never go out of style. So we look forward to more people joining in with bone with friends, subscribing, ringing the bell. I want to say all at the same time. In the new year, we have people scheduled all the way into February. By the grace of God, that there will be no hiccups, between now until February. And I know the guest that was going to be on the show today, just a matter of, sometimes you can't just get your regular break and everything. So, but we are going to look forward to next year because this is progress as well. Just knowing that having a pre-recorded show, we may do that, have one ready for the new year, so that way we don't come on later when we're waiting for someone and to no avail that they just couldn't make it, that we'll have a recorded show to play so we can be more so on time. Okay. And then I know there's technical difficulties at different times. People are, this is their many of the guests, it was their first time ever being on a podcast. So Bone with Friends was their very first podcast. So sometimes there's an audio or visual hiccup here and there, but we look forward to being online 9 o'clock in the new year going forward.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. And did you have any closing remarks, or can I go to a commercial so you can definitely close out this wonderful year with one of your messages? Because we've been tuned in and ready for the messages at the end of the podcast. Everybody's been wondering what you will read at the end of the show. If I can run a couple of commercials and you can provide one of those to go in, because this is actually the last podcast of Bone with Friends for 2025.
Okay, yeah. Let's go to a commercial break and then I'll hit them with the final thoughts.
Okay, all right. So we'll start with your music here.
Act of faith, barely making it off the Section 8. Every day I fast, meditate about the S-bait.
Bloodline so far, bloodline so far, wide world so dark. Burn up in the sun and we freeze in the cold. Unable to win again, it's just fool's gold. You will lose your soul when you reap what you sow.
As I walk down the track, let me tell you why I'm in rhyming. Slave patrol try to stop it, urban hustle like a fast stack, burning up every pack. Like I'm breaking up rhyming, wait for some new, they ignoring what the news say. They want to blind us with the drama, it won't be dominated.
No, not this time. Hard head nigga all my life.
Better, sweet, never had a thing. 90 miles
to them, what they did to us. Now worship our image. They've been fans of your black man from the beginning. They've been stealing swag, copyrighted like it's theirs. Over worried about the black fellas, they've been scared. Why we so unaware and really unprepared?
Oh, this is like music to my ears. Compton in the box. Yes, Compton in the box comes in basic, custom, and deluxe. Come on now. Basic, 132 value for only $39.99. Come on now, stand on business. This is a great deal. I can't shake it. You see me? Imagine 4 shirts or 4 hats, $39.99 plus tax and shipping if you live out of state, and just imagine all of the combinations, all of the t-shirts. Yes, if you need to call, you need to get your box built, custom and deluxe, all right. If you're calling for basic, just know that we're going to send you scattered t-shirts.
I got the hookup, holla if you hear me. I
share. Our love was fading so fast. What's right now is wrong, came to fast. Baby, in the night, I sat alone wanting you, crying out for you, wondering who's loving you, baby. And along the way, the love that we share is gone away. We try and try for a better day, for that day, girl.
Absolutely. Bone.
Well, yeah, I like to give them my final thought. First, I got a Bible verse, then I got a short story.
Okay.
Whoever is faithful in very little is also faithful in much. Whoever is dishonest in very little is also dishonest in much. Luke 16:10. Miss Carter volunteered at the church for years, quietly unlocking doors, filing papers, and answering phone calls when no one else had time. The work was small, often unnoticed, and sometimes tiring. One month, the church decided to give her a modest $100 to help with gas and phone costs. She accepted with the same care and service she gave, keeping records and showing up on time, and doing the work with integrity. Over time, her faithfulness brought order and peace to the ministry. New volunteers followed her example. The church grew stronger, not because of large gift or big titles, but because someone had chosen to be faithful in the little things. Lesson: God honors integrity and faithfulness, no matter how small a task or reward. I'd like to
Yeah,
thank everybody for tuning in, and I'm gonna let Nichelle take us out.
absolutely. That was just great. Absolutely. Thank you for sharing. I'm going to have us listen to the Compton in the Box, a video, and then we're going to play the outro. So, again, thank you, everyone, everybody that told a friend about Bone with Friends, that chose to subscribe and ring the bell, and anybody that would hear this podcast today will share the show and look back at all the many videos of Bone with Friends from Compton High alumni. You know, anybody that knows Chili Mac from back in the day, the music, to how much love he shared about coming to the homecoming, the first homecoming at Compton High. It's just so many people that have shared gratitude for the city of Compton, not only as alumni, but just from what the grit and the experiences from family and friends to their wonderful friend, childhood friend Bo, and all the wonderful experiences and how they're very thankful for, just so much that has taken place in their lives and to be able to come back and be edified on a podcast and have the experience for the first time. They've heard about different podcasts. They've never been asked to be on a podcast. And Bone wasn't sure about doing a podcast himself, but just to know that it just worked out in 2025. This is the first year that Bone has done a podcast, and now he's part of six more. We have seven different podcasts. So please tell a friend. It started with Bone, micpt.com, and then he became visible. He started using his camera with Bone with Friends, and it's just been wonderful. You've seen so many people in their cars, uh, even trucks. Like shout out to Darnell, and I know you have a lot more truck driving friends that drive trucks, and some people they are just definitely very supportive of the Bone with Friends podcast, and they come to the store and they say, "I'm not ready to go on a podcast," or "I don't do podcasts," and but they're very supportive of the Bone with Friends. But just a note, if you stay tuned to MICPT Channel 12 content, you will hear more guests and you will hear more about the Made in Compton store. Of course, Compton in the Box is the staple. The mascot is Teddy G, and you'll hear a plethora of great things in the new year with all the wonderful new designs that's going to be rolled out in the new year as well. So, with that in mind, thank you once again for a wonderful, wonderful year as the engineer for all of these shows, too. I want to tell you thank you. And here's a Compton in the Box video as before the outro. So, boom. Thank you. You did a wonderful job this year.
Thank you. And thank you, everybody that supported us in any way. If it was just listening to the podcast or coming by the store and, spreading the good news. Thank
Absolutely.
you. Appreciate you.
For sure. And a real special shout out, I had to say, to Adamu because we spent a lot of time in the comments area on the Bone with Friends podcast. So shout out to you. Thank you for your support, Adamu.
Thank you,
Compton
Damu.
is more than just a city. It's a heartbeat of culture, music, and resilience. But how do you capture that spirit in one experience? Introducing Compton in a Box, a carefully curated collection that brings the essence of Compton straight to your doorstep. From the stories to the art to the flavor, you'll find pieces that honor its history and celebrate its future. Whether you're from Compton, connected to it, or a great supporter of the Made in Compton store, this is more than a box. It's a journey. And whether you choose the basic, custom, or deluxe Compton in a box, you're taking home a piece of pride. Discover it today at MikePT.com and subscribe to Stay Compton Up.